This episode of The Couch is proudly supported by Retrovision, the right advice at the best price. Safety Compliance Global, taking care of all your safety requirements. The Ray Hotel, discover the best pub experience in Fremantle. And Eco Action, inspiring positive environmental change. Thank you all for supporting local.
Australia, thank you for supporting local. Welcome to another episode of Your Local Couch, coming to you from Ellenbrook Secondary College, episode 808. Let me tell you what's coming up today.
On the couch, yeah, it's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can watch it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred.
Hello Australia, hope you had a great week. Look forward to the next hour on the couch. Fantastic local chat. And of course, we're having a bit of fun as well today. Let me get straight into it. Bernadette Marie is back. She's talking to our very favourite doctor. He's Dr. Joe. Over to you.
He's definitely my favourite doctor. We've got Dr. Joe Kostorich today, and we're going to talk about music and how it affects our brain, our moods, our motivation. So, yeah, let's just start simply for the people out there. How exactly does music affect our brain?
Look, good question, Bernadette, and lovely to be with you. Good to see you, Fred. I don't think anybody knows exactly the mechanism. But I think what's been shown increasingly, and we sort of know this intuitively, I mean, we sing lullabies or play lullabies to children when they're babies to try to get them off to sleep. Why? It has a calmative effect. I mean, probably not playing heavy metal, but, you know, the type of music. It's also been demonstrated on numerous occasions that music has a calming effect, and it's been used to differing degrees. For example, in aged care facilities, people with dementia who have behavioural issues, which is unfortunately normal to be expected, maybe calmed down by that. We also know that music right back through the ages has been found in every culture and society on earth and has different meanings to those different cultures and societies in different ways. And yes, different types of music at different times affect us differently. A lot of people have a song that they will say with their partner, this is our song. And immediately you think about it, it triggers the memory of when they first met, or their first dinner, or their first kiss, whatever it might be. And music does tie to memories. And indeed, some of this newer work is looking at use of music to try and help people with memory problems.
Yeah, so music sets different moods. So if we were going to the gym, we would listen to motivational music, something that's going to get us right into our workout routine. Like you said, if it's nighttime, we're going to listen to, lullabies or meditation. We're going to do different types of music as well. So is it true music can help with like memory loss or dementia patients and stuff like that?
It has been shown that music can have a calmative effect. So for people with dementia where there are behavioural issues, look, it's important to say in these situations it's not a treatment in inverted commas, but then sometimes that really narrow prism of, is it a treatment, has it been shown in a double-blinded placebo-controlled trial, sort of makes us, if you like, willfully blind to, look, it might actually just help the situation without curing or treating the situation, but improving it. And yeah, some of this newer work is looking at different frequencies of music and how it may sort of align with different frequencies within the brain. And we know that the brain has brain waves at different frequencies. There's delta and gamma and theta. And that some of the memories that are related to a part of the brain called the hippocampus has its own frequency, and music at a frequency that might align with that may help with unlocking memories. And we also know with people with dementia, it can be easier for them to remember what happened when they were 5 years old than what they had for breakfast, because that memory is deeper seated. And unlocking it, as I said before, the example with people and their first memory together, that music can remind you of that, or it brings back that memory, and it could have been 50 years ago, may also have some role in dementia. The restriction necessarily is what may trigger a memory in you and Fred
Yes.
and me is not necessarily going to be the same. Is going to reflect our own unique experience. I mean, look, just to show my own age, I remember for years and years and years, whenever I used to hear Sadie, the cleaning lady, it would always remind me of Beatty Park Aquatic Centre, because that's where I used to go when I was a kid to swim, and that was playing and at that time. And so that for a long time was all, oh, yeah, I remember when I was a
Yeah.
kid and went swimming. There you go.
Exactly.
But that'll be unique, I suspect, to me, maybe some other people as well, I don't know. So it does have to be meaningful to the person, and that, for now at least, is going to be
Yeah.
the missing link.
And we all love a bit of John Farnham. How important is it to actually, is it important to also play the musical instrument and play the music as well?
Look, short answer is probably no. And even if you are, when you are playing, you're still listening.
Yeah.
And most of us don't have probably the aptitude or the skills to be
Yeah.
successful musicians. But most people are familiar with the concept of singing in the shower, and that's still music. And also, people will get songs into their head, which is the other fascinating part. That yes, hearing is important. But ultimately, for example, somebody who's deaf, they can't hear externally, but they may still have sounds in their head.
Yeah.
So it is how it affects the brain, arguably more than what's coming in externally. And I'm not diminishing that in any way.
Yeah.
So it is ultimately about those brainwaves.
Is that where frequency and vibration would come in, if for deaf people, perhaps?
Could
Yeah.
well do that. Yes.
Quite interesting. And how does your personal taste in music matter when it comes to changing moods, etc.?
I think you're right. I mean,
What
the
if
concept-
people are only into heavy metal?
Look, there's no point trying to get people to really enjoy what they don't. It's good to maybe experience new types
Yeah.
of music, and that includes when you travel. Like if you're in Southeast Asia, you going the background music is typically going to be different to what you'd get here. Again, in different European cultures, probably different. There really isn't a right or wrong. I think it will often, what means the most to you will have that significance, and some of that probably does come from your younger and formative years. So we absolutely are influenced by what we've been exposed to, but people can develop new tastes, and you're only going to get new tastes if you, and this is not just in music, this is in food, is with anything, if you are open to experiencing new things.
Well, there you go. We've got to be open to experiencing new types of music. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we're going to throw it back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much. Dr. Joe, if people want more information about you, where
Yeah.
do they go to?
Look, they can go to drjoetoday.com. They can go on to any of the podcast platforms and find Dr. Joe Unplugged.
Yep.
And Dr. Joe Unplugged is also on a Substack, if people get on
Thank
to
you.
Substack.
I was just going to say, I suffered from anxiety a while ago, and one of the things with anxiety is that you sort of go into a very relaxing room, you sit in a recliner chair or lie down, and you listen to soothing music. And I tell you what, it helps so many people to get out of those panic attack situations. Kids, when parents upset kids or get them angry, what do? They go in their room and they play music, and that settles. So I think there's a lot of truth in what you're saying today, guys. And I think music can be very soothing. When we're driving in the car, folks, and I hear an ABBA song, how much does that not make me feel, one, young, two, happy again, and at a time when there was no war, that everyone was happy, everyone had food to eat, we all could afford rents, and things like that. So, no, good topic. Thank you, Dr. Joe, as well. Thank you to Bernadette.
Pleasure, Fred.
Thank you so
Now,
much.